Come, Sang, let me start the class with a great line from Robert Frost. Poetry begins in delight and ends in wisdom. Today, I have a poem for you, Fire and Ice, written by Robert Frost. We are going to learn this poem. We're not just going to learn this poem, but also learn how to understand any poem by following these steps which I have created myself for you. Well, now the topic, fire and ice. What do you feel when you think about fire? Hot? Yes, okay, you may have different feelings about fire. And ice, very cold. See, these are two extremes. One is very hot and the other is very cold. You have to feel. Feel because poem is about emotions. Emotions that turn into thoughts and thoughts that turn into words. Look at this. These are not just words. These are emotions. Now, to start with, let's talk about the poet. Who is the writer? Robert Frost. Remember, road not taken? Yes, you have studied that in class 9. It was written by Robert Frost. Great poem. And now, Robert Frost was an American poet. He was a great poet and he was a realist. His poems are all based on real life situations. That's why his poems are never outdated. And he has won many prizes like Pulitzer's Award. He had been nominated so many times for Nobel Prize for Literature. And well, he was born in 1874 and he died in 1963. You know a lot about Robert Frost, right? Now moving on to these steps or flow chart that I have created for you. First, what we are going to do is, remember, this is going to help you in understanding any poem, okay? Not just this poem. Today we are taking this poem because this is in your syllabus. Read twice loudly. When you read a poem, you read loudly, twice. And you hear that, you have to hear the poem that you are reading. And then after reading it twice, loudly, you read in your mind also, several times. You read it several times in your mind. And then think, okay, I'm going to do the first step there, read loudly. I'm going to read once for you. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tested of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of heat to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Look at this one. How many lines are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's a lyric poem. It is a short poem. It is a compact poem, okay? But it has got a great meaning, very deep meaning there. And then it's a symbolic poem. So when we are talking about this topic, fire and ice, they are acting as symbols. You'll come to know about that when I explain you this poem. After reading that, you have to read it twice and read several times in your mind. After reading that, you ask yourself a question. After thinking, ask yourself a question. Who is speaking here? Who is the speaker? Of course, the poet himself, right? In some cases, in some poems, there may be different speakers, the poet may create different characters in the poem itself. In this case, the poet himself is speaking, all right? And then who is he speaking to? He is speaking to the reader, like us, right? He is trying to convey his message through this poem. And most important thing is, now, what is the message that he's trying to give? What is he trying to say? Okay, that could be the theme, right? Theme. Now, in this poem, the poet is saying destruction is inevitable. Either the world will be destroyed by fire, and if not by fire, if we survive, if we get second chance of living, then definitely ice is going to destroy the world. And he is comparing that with our lives, that in our lives also we have desire, and that desire is rapidly going to ruin our life. And if we survive that, of course there's hate or hatred, which has the potential to slowly ruin our life. That's what he's saying here, the theme. Okay, after that, again, think. Think and analyze. What you have to think is, now how do you feel after reading this poem? Are you feeling happy? Because poem is about emotions, right? Poem is about emotions. And how do you feel? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling sad? Sometimes are you feeling a little bit anxious or worried? You may have different feelings. That depends upon the poem. Then the big question is, you feel happy, then you have to ask yourself, what are the things in this poem is making you happy? How is the poem making you happy? Or if you are sad, what are the things in the poem is making you sad? You have to ask that big question when you analyze it. And when you analyze, we have to think about these points. I have written 5 points here. First one is contents. Now, contents means the poem itself. Let me explain this poem. Contents. Okay, before I explain this, you need to have some knowledge of this poem, the background knowledge of this poem. And, Robert Frost was inspired by Dante's Inferno. Dante's poem, the first part of the poem is Inferno. In that poem, Dante has explained how the sinners will be punished in fire and also in ice. So Robert Frost was inspired by that poem and he wrote this poem. And again, when we're talking about destruction of the world, well, this poem was written when there was a great disturbance in the world. It was published in 1920 in Harper's Magazine, and it was after the First World War. Okay, now some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. There are two groups of people here. One group of people say that first group of people say that the world is coming to an end. I mean, the world will get destroyed. The world will get destroyed by fire. And the next group says the world will get destroyed by the ice. See, this debate is still going on, right? Okay. Now, why are they thinking that fire is going to destroy the world? They think that one day the sun is going to explode, or the earth is going to be too hot, the earth's crust is going to be too hot, and kill all the people living in there. And maybe volcanic eruptions also, right? So that is why they think that, of course, there's war. And then others think that one day the world, the earth, will become a ball of ice. Why? Because they think that the sun is going to get exhausted. Its energy is going to get exhausted one day. And then we'll go back to the ice age and the world will get destroyed. Now, the poet is saying, from what I have tested of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. He's thinking that as far as he knows the desire, experience of desire, he thinks that the world is going to be destroyed by fire. Now, but if it had to perish twice, if the world had to be destroyed, the ice is enough to destroy the world. Now, let's take desire and hate. Over here, what he is trying to say is, now, fire has symbolized desire. Fire has been used as a symbol of desire, and ice has been used as the symbol of hate or hatred. The world is used as the symbol of your life. What he is comparing to is the negative emotions, the destructive emotions like desire and hatred in us. They are going to ruin our life. If first he thinks that desire is going to rapidly ruin our life, and if we survive the onslaught of desire, then hatred is there to ruin our life. Slowly it's going to destroy our life. So he has compared these emotions, desire and hatred, with fire and ice, and self-destruction by these negative emotions have been compared to the destruction of the world by fire, either by fire or ice. Then, moving on to the words. Next point, words. Look at this. The words are very simple. Fire, ice, very simple. Perish means to die, and suffice means sufficient. So these are easy words there you can find in the dictionary also. But then these are literary meanings. The figurative meanings are also there, like desire, as we have already discussed this. Fire symbolizes desire, and hate, of course, ice is a symbol of hate, and the world symbolizes your life, right? Our life. That is how it has been explained figuratively. And now moving on to the third point, tone. What is the tone? The tone is, the poet is declaring something. It's declarative, right? He's saying the world will be destroyed. He's saying destruction is inevitable. So the tone is declarative. Now, sound. Sound. In fact, sound is just like the music, right? The music is there and the sound is there. Just like this is a song and the music is your rhyming scheme. Now you look at this. When you talk about rhyme scheme, you have to look at the words there. Look at the last word there, fire. Ice, desire, fire. Fire, desire, fire. They are common, right? So you can write down A, A, A. Now this is not common. You can write down B. The sound, rhyming scheme, okay? A, B, A, A. And you look at this, ice and twice are same. So you can use B here. You can write B. Now, fire, desire, fire, they have common sound, A, A, A. Ice and twice, they have common sound, B, B. But hate is different, right? Now you can write C here. It's a different sound. And again, you have ice here, ice, B. Now heat and great are of same sound. So C. And of course suffice, ice, twice are of same sound. Yes, B. Now look at that rhyming scheme of this poem. A, B, A, B, C, B, C, B. Right? Okay, that is the rhyme scheme. And that is very important. Sometimes this comes in the examination also. Now let's move on to the technique. In technique, what we look at is the literary devices or poetic devices. They are used to make the poem more beautiful and also give more meanings to the poem, right? So let's see what poetic devices are used here. Poetic devices, you know, right? Literary devices. Some of the common ones are simile, metaphor, alliteration, right? There are so many of them. Now let's see what are used here. What are the poetic devices? Okay, some say the world will. Okay, over here you can find alliteration. Alliteration is a poetic device when you use repetition of consonant sound at the start of two or more closely placed words, like this. Consonant sound, as some say. The world will. And you have some more here. Some say, right? And then we have, okay, that is how you have to find out alliteration. Alliteration. Favor, fire. Now these are alliterations. Alliterations. A-L-L-I-T-E-R-A-T-I-O-N. Alliteration. Poetic device. Alright. The next one is imagery. Image after image. Now, most of the poem, almost all the poem are, they create some image in your mind. Okay, imagery is used there. And here you can find this, when you think about fire, ice, fire, right? Destruction, ice, and fire. You may, some image of fire may come, right? You may be using your senses, 5 senses, or you may be feeling like fire means very hot. But you may be seeing images also of fire and ice. These are called imagery. The poet is trying to show you or make you feel something with the help of this imagery. Then we have anaphora. Next one is anaphora. A-N-A-P-H-O-R-A. That is anaphora, the repetition of a word or expression at the start of 2 or more consecutive lines. Let's look at it. Repetition of 1 or more words in 2 or more lines, right? 2 lines there. Some say, some say. Can you see that? Anaphora has been used here. Anaphora. Okay. Now the 4th one is personification. Personification. Now personification is when you give the quality of human to non-humans, like as if they are humans. Over here, fire and ice, they are personified because they are doing something like human, destroying. The poet is talking about fire and ice destroying the world, right? So that is personification. Thus, I have explained to you this poem by following these steps. And to sum up this poem, the poet is saying the world will be destroyed either by fire or ice. In the same way, our life will be ruined either by desire or hatred. If we do not control our negative emotions, They are going to bring a lot of suffering in our life. Now, I want to conclude by saying that you can use these steps to understand any poem. What you need to do is read, think, and analyze, and use these points. Thank you. Thank you very much.